Righteous. Alright, dude, so it's like, what are you, oh yeah, gotcha. Sounds good. So it's like, Sunday, right after we got out of school, and, yeah, so over winter break, I thought I'd give you guys pretty much the hardest riddle I've ever heard. It's actually harder than the 12 bags of gold riddle, so, get ready. So you ready for this, Mike? Alright. So, basically the setup is you're in this Hungarian prison with 22 other prisoners, okay? And so there's 23 prisoners. And you're all sentenced to death, but then the warden's like, well, tell you what, I'll give you another chance at life because this is a riddle setup. And you're like, okay. And so he's like,
this is a riddle setup.
And so he's like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of you 23 prisoners and I'm going to put you each in like a completely soundproof, opaque, you can't smell, taste, hear, feel anything in these cells, okay? And then he says, now, I'm gonna go, to a room, and I'll open the door, take the prisoner out, and then I'll lead that prisoner to this other room. And in that room, there's 2 switches, and these switches aren't connected to anything. They're just 2 switches on the wall, and they can either be up or down, and those are the only 2 positions they can be in. And you don't know whether you don't know the positions they started, okay? And so he says, so I'll lead the person to the room. They have to flip a switch, but that's the only thing they can do. If, they can't, put a mark on the wall or anything. Because if they do anything besides flip a switch, and they can only flip one switch, then I'll throw everyone to the alligators. And you don't want that. And so then, after they flip a switch, he leads the person back to their room. And then he can take a break if he wants to, or he can go immediately to another cell, or he can even go back to the same cell. And then he'll get the next person, and he'll take them. And, he can have like an hour-long break between trips. He can have, a 10-second break. He can go back to the same cell over and over again. You don't know it all. And so he says, and so the catch is that if, when somebody walks into the room, if they can tell me that all 23 prisoners have been in that room, then I'll let you all free, if they're correct. And if they're wrong, then everybody gets thrown to the alligators. And so they have the night before to plan this out. And so what did they do?
So, 23 prisoners, all of them have to be in there in order for them to be saved.
Right. Everybody has to be saved at least once.
They can't communicate during...
No communication. They've got the night before.
Got the night before, so they have to make a plan.
They have to make a plan to save themselves from certain death. Yeah. So anyway, think about it, dudes, and catch you next semester. Rock on.